Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome to your end of, I was going to say November or December, but February 2023. It's Rena here. I think I did your reading and erased it, which is cray cray. Ooh, I love the background colors of that card. Two cards came out. Ooh, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, family energy. This is like a, it seems like some kind of wedding or engagement party. I don't know. I love the picture of that one. Okay, so I'm going to pick an additional card because it's Five of Swords. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Three of Cups. This is a social card. This can be some kind of celebration. When I first started doing these readings almost 8 years ago, and I would look at my analytics, I would get mostly women viewers, and now I'm getting more and more men. So I was going to say you and your girlfriends. But if you're a man, you have a bunch of girlfriends, your wife may not appreciate that. But anyway, your mates, if you're a man and you live in Australia. But this is a card of social interactions and that feeling of camaraderie. The cups are the emotions and how you connect with others. It can be a wonderful feeling, especially for Scorpio. I always think of Scorpios as lone wolves in a sense, but Scorpio is a sign that if you do have close friends, you probably are fiercely loyal to them and loving to them. So if they have a victory, you might be celebrating it with them, or like an engagement or something along those lines. And in the past position, this could just be what is precipitating this. We have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups can be a wedding, but I think this can even be like a, maybe you're a bridesmaid or a groomsman for a wedding. And so you're kind of catching up with your friends and, catching up on old times. There's also Ten of Pentacles. So there can be, if this is in the family too, I mean, the Ten of Pentacles can be family money. So an inheritance, a wedding gift of financial, blessings that is being received. Ten of Cups can be a wedding, family, joy. Something is there to celebrate in your life. And sorry about the train, but I do live by the train. The higher message is the Three of Wands. This is a card of expansion. So this may kind of like, for instance, let's say you go and you have like this, you go back to your hometown and your best friend is having a wedding and you are one of her bridesmaids. And maybe you haven't seen some of these other people in years. You, Scorpio, you will see how much you have grown. Scorpio and Taurus are two signs that have had eclipses in the past 2 years. This may have been very growth producing for you, these eclipses. And you may have something to really be proud about when it comes to how you have changed for the better. And perhaps there's even, and also if this is like family related too, because with Uranus transing your fourth house of home and family, you can have like these family situations arise very suddenly, when you least expect it, and you have to kind of deal with it. So whether it was a surprise engagement or whatever. What crosses use the temperance card. The temperance card is that sense of the spiritual and the material being in alignment. So, in other words, when a person is too much in the material and neglects the spiritual, they can lack insight into their life in a higher perspective. And then there's like an ungrounded quality when you don't have a balance with the material. Also, this card is associated with Sagittarius. So if you go back to your hometown and there's a Sag that, like this guy that you were always attracted to who's there. Maybe this is like I was thinking of like a high school reunion even, but I don't know if they have many of those this time of year. But that kind of vibe, and the one that got away, or the person you're, risking your, I don't think Scorpio would this. I was gonna say risking your marriage for a fling with this person when you have the bridal shower or whatever. But there's kind of a festive spirit with this. So, oh yeah, another thing too is like, if you have gotten sober even and you want to be a part of some kind of festivities, you have to realize that you have to be very vigilant about that, because it can be easy to slip back into old ways of being. So I always think of the temperance card as somebody, kind of the temperance union. I think of, in the United States, all of that took place. But yeah, living kind of in balance and not allowing something to kind of put you over the top. But Scorpio is an extreme sign, so when you tend to feel something strongly, it's like, who knows what could happen, right? So being able to enjoy like the blessings that you have been receiving without feeling that sense of needing to go overboard. What is coming in as the Queen of Pentacles? You have a lot of good money cards. Ten of Pentacles can also be like affluence. But I feel like there's some kind of family connection to this money somehow. If maybe you are getting married and you are getting money from family. Queen of Pentacles, I would say if you're going into a marriage, money is a means to an end. So enjoying that like home life, and what that can give you. Some people are always like going out on the town and they have to always like blow money, but being able to see that home is where the heart is and where you can find probably the most comfort. I would say too, I mean, I don't want to make this about men and women and things like that, but for some reason, what came into my mind, but I was thinking, I just pushed it out of my mind because I was thinking, well, that isn't really what is associated with this card. But I was going to say having your own money, even though I would say that's more of the Nine of Pentacles than the Queen of Pentacles. But, not being selfish, but by the same token, not being someone who kind of loses their head and becomes codependent and allows somebody else to ever control you with money. So maybe this is a second marriage. Maybe this is some kind of thing where you're thinking that you have a second chance at happiness. The outcome is the Five of Swords. So this is why I'm saying, because then I picked this a clarification, or as a follow-up card, the Four of Pentacles. Something with money. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is inheritance. There could be people, even family members behind your back, who are not um, honest brokers, who are trying to deceive somehow. Maybe they are speaking with forked tongue to you. Double, what do they call that? Double talking, whatever. They're saying one thing to you, one thing to other people, just downright lying about a situation. Because there's a lot of good here, but then there's this negative energy. So you may even sense this because you're highly perceptive, that somebody is doing something sketchy behind your back. And so this other card, you can see she's holding on to her money, her coin purse. So, sometimes this can indicate greed if the person's holding on too tightly, but it might be a warning. Don't get too carried away. That's what I'm saying with the Temperance card. So whether this is a new spouse, whether this is anything, like for instance, let's say you got married, or maybe you haven't even got married, and your partner is saying, you know what, I know that your parents have given you this money for your wedding. Hey, can I borrow some of that? Because I'm going to, and you haven't even gotten married yet, and they quit their job because you got this money. You know what I mean? That might be a little bit of a red flag, because it's like, as soon as like you get money, they just automatically assume they can just stop working, and they're thinking in terms of, what you can do for them. And this has nothing whatsoever to do about people who are unemployed in a relationship that's a healthy relationship and one person is helping the other. We're talking more about the exploitation that can occur sometimes, financial exploitation. And, the warning signs are there. That sense of entitlement, that sense of, I'm only going to work if I have to, and then if I have any chance to quit, I'm going to quit, and I'm going to, take my partner's money to use as my spending money, but I have no intention of contributing to the relationship if I don't have to. And having that sense of entitlement that they are allowed to do that. And I'm not talking about if it's a stay-at-home parent who, is paying for the household expenses. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. So, yeah, temperance means that you are able to self-regulate yourself emotionally, so that you are not just going off on a tangent with someone, that might be not an honest broker. That's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.